People don't just become who they are. They often become who you expect them to be. This is the essence of the Pygmalion Effect. High expectations lead to higher performance, while low expectations lead to lower performance. Expectations aren't just ideas in your head, they are scripts that others end up following. In this episode, we'll unpack how the Pygmalion Effect shapes classrooms, workplaces, relationships, and even our own self-image. Welcome back to Spark and Hustle, Unleashing Success in Business, Life, and Beyond. I'm your host, Puneet Kaur. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating psychological phenomena, the Pygmalion Effect. Named after a Greek myth and proven in modern psychology, it shows that the expectations we place on others and ourselves create self-fulfilling prophecies. If you're a leader, parent, partner, or simply someone building yourself, this principle will change how you see human potential. The Pygmalion Effect comes from a landmark study in the 1960s by Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson. They told teachers that certain students had been identified as having high potential, even though the students were chosen at random. At the end of the school year, those students actually performed better and showed higher IQ gains. Why? Because the teachers unconsciously gave them more attention, encouragement, and belief. The students rose to the level of expectations placed on them. This is the heart of the Pygmalion Effect. Belief creates behavior, and the behavior creates reality. In leadership, the Pygmalion Effect is massive. Teams don't just perform based on skill, they perform based on the standard that their leader believes they can reach. A manager who believes an employee is capable of growth will challenge them, coach them, and celebrate their progress. The employee thrives. A leader who doubts someone's ability will micromanage, withdraw opportunities, and unintentionally hold them back. The employee stagnates. Your expectation as a leader sets the ceiling for your team. Raise your expectation, and you raise the performance matching that expectation. The Pygmalion Effect shows up in parenting and in relationships too. Children who are told they're resilient and capable begin to act that way. Children who are told they're difficult or weak absorb that identity. In relationships, partners often live up or down to the labels we project onto them. If you constantly expect unreliability, you'll look at everything like they do through that lens. But if you expect greatness, steadiness, or love, you encourage them to embody it. Expectations are invisible. They are signals people feel. So Pygmalion Effect isn't just external. It also applies to yourself too. The expectations you place on yourself shape your identity and your actions. If you expect to succeed, you approach challenges differently than if you expect to fail. If you expect to be confident, you carry yourself with a different energy than if you expect to be timid. Your self-concept is the most powerful expectations of all. In sports, coaches who believe in their athletes' potential see them rise under pressure. Phil Jackson's belief in Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant wasn't just skill-based, it was expectation-driven. In workplaces, companies with cultures of belief outperform competitors. When companies focus on employees and tell their employees that they're trusted innovators, they act like it. In classrooms, countless replications of Rosenthal's study show that the teacher, how they set expectations, remain one of the strongest predictors of student growth. Here's a framework for applying Pygmalion Effect called the expectation loop. Believe. Start by genuinely believing in the potential of others and yourself. Communicate. Let those expectations be known through encouragement and opportunity. Then you reinforce. Back up words with action, coaching, feedback, recognition. Result, watch people rise to the expectations you set. This isn't toxic positivity. It's about creating an environment where belief drives behavior. Here's a mantra. People rise or fall to the level of expectations placed upon them. Raise your expectations, not in just words, but in your belief, because belief becomes behavior and behavior becomes reality. Here's a book recommendation called Mindset by Carol Dweck. In this book, Carol explains the difference between fixed and growth mindsets. A fixed mindset assumes abilities are static, while a growth mindset believes abilities can be developed through effort and learning. The Pygmalion Effect ties directly to the idea. When people are expected to grow, they do. When they are expected to stay stuck, they stagnate. Dweck shows how teachers, leaders, parents, and individuals can transform outcomes by shifting expectations from fixed to growth. Her message: expectations and mindset don't just influence outcomes, they create them. Here's 2 quotes I love from the book. First is, becoming is better than being. So instead of saying, I am lazy and I don't like working out, you can say, I am becoming stronger and I am going to work out. Second one that I absolutely enjoy reading again and again is, in a fixed mindset, students believe their basic abilities, their intelligence, their talents are just fixed traits. In a growth mindset, students understand that their talents and abilities can be developed through effort, good teaching, and persistence. This is the part that I love reading again and again, which is, I can grow my abilities and talents if I put enough effort and I learn from the best, which is the good teaching part, and I persist and persevere. I hope you found this episode useful. So let's raise our expectations, not in just our words, but believe in those expectations. Thank you for tuning in to this episode on Spark and Hustle. If this episode shifted your perspective, share it with a leader, parent, friend, or your child if they need the reminder. Until next time, stay bold, stay soft, and keep going.